right, not a part of the house that you see very often, but I'm up in the garage attached to the house because this is where I keep all my big power tools at. Radial arm saw, and there's a shop smith over there in the corner. Anyways, I just thought I'd get you guys going on in this. I've already cleaned the shop out. Been talking about doing this for a while, and it's finally time to do and get the new island built. So it's going to feature a couple of different things. This is just an assembly table. Now keep that in mind. So I'm not going for, oh my God, accuracy, but I want a nice strong table. It's going to be 4 foot wide, 8 foot long, just like the island was in there. In fact, I'm going to just reuse the plywood that was on top of it. And but it's going to have a dust system in it for sanding. I'm going to do that with some pegboard that I got over there in the corner. And it's also going to have 3 stringers instead of 2, just for more flatness and stability on it. May end up putting a build on it if it comes out really nice. I'm going to do my best to keep it flat. But just keep in mind, this is the same process that you would use if you were going to get serious about building and want to build a build table like what I use with Homosode, or what other structure substance on top to put your T-pins in. And the biggest thing is flatness. So I picked out some really nice 2x4s to run my stringers with. You want something that's straight and twist free as much as you can. I know that's really hard to do in this day and age. I worked out the math on my stringers here. I've already cut a bunch of pieces here. Just like building airplanes. I mean, you start with raw materials, you cut them down to size, and then you go on to assembly. But I worked out the math here for my stringers, so I took out a 4.5 inches on my 4 to 8 inch width for the width of a 2x4, and then came out to 20, divided that by 2 and came out with 22.25 wide on each stringer. So that way I have 3 stringers and I'll be 4 foot wide when I'm done with it. The way I'm going to do this one, I'm not going to screw it together. This is going to be glued together and pinned. So I've marked out where each of my stringers are going to go. This is going to be facing the window side of the barn. So this is where the dust collector here is going to be sent. It's approximately 2 feet wide. I don't think I really need anything bigger than that. So I'm going to negate putting I'm doing 16-inch centers, so it'll be nice and strong. But I'm going to negate one of them in this corner and have a longer reach, so that way I can have a sealed box. I'll show you guys that all later. Anyways, what I'm going to do is I got my nail gun in here, and you guys can build these tables. You don't need a radial arm saw. I like my radial arm saw, and I also like my DeWalt tool. So I got a air nailer here that'll be or electric nailing gun that I'll be pinning them with to get started. I'm going to put a little bit of Titebond on each joint, and I'll nail them together, and then I'm going to drill one hole in the center for my dowel rod, and I'll cut those down to size just so they come through here a little bit, and that'll give me some additional strength besides the little tiny nails that are just there for keeping it together while it's the glue's drying. So anyways, I'm going to get started on this side. I'm not going to show you a whole lot of this because it's pretty self-explanatory what I'm doing. So maybe one day you guys will build a workbench of your own and start building airplanes. So anyways, let's I'll get going on this, and I'll bring it back when I got more to show you. All right, so I got the first half of it mocked into place here, and this box here is going to be where there's not going to be any plywood on top. I'm going to put I got some pegboard over here, and I'm going to sheet the top of that with pegboard, and I'm going to take the bottom of it and plywood it up so it creates a box. And then the other thing that I'm tired of in the shop is using my I don't know if you guys have seen me use my sander, but it blows sawdust all over the damn place. So normally my bandsaw would sit here. I'm going to put my sander there, and I'm going to point the debris that way, and in hopes that you know, it'll catch some. If not, I'll have my shop vac already here, and I'll just be able to plug it in, and it'll keep the dust down in the shop. I've been noticing that I've been sneezing a lot more. When I'm sanding, man, you can just see the film of dust in the air. So we're going to try to do a little bit more to combat that. And it starts with this table. The other thing is I can put like a wing or a fuselage over the top of this, hook a shop vac up to it, and it'll draw the arrow draw, and it'll draw the balsa into that. Obviously, this is going to have to be sealed tight, so we'll caulk it and I'll do all that stuff later. But that's the idea there. I haven't got the other piece of 2x4 in there. This piece here is just mocked into place. I just got it clamped there. It's not glued or nothing, because this is going to be the other half, and it's going to sit right here and then attached to there. Well, you can see part of the problem is if I put everything on the same center line, I'm not going to be able to get screws or nails into one side or the other. So what I'm going to do is, I got this all clamped up. I'm going to go ahead and drill for my I think that's 3/8 rod that I got, and I'm going to drill into that and set those all up, you know, and not do nothing. I'm just going to drill it, and then I'll take this off and do the same thing on this piece, but then I'll use my holes as a guide to line up on this end of the 2x4, and when I am ready for assembly, basically I'll put some glue on my rod there, shove it in, and there'll be another, you know, 1.5 inches or so sticking out. Do that all the way down and glue one side, and then I'll put this one up there, put all my glue on, and then draw it all together. I might have to get a little fancy with the clamps, because I don't have any clamps that are 4 foot wide, or that can clamp up to 4 foot wide. That's the biggest one I got, and it's barely doing it, and I'll have to find the other one to do that. But so that's basically in a nutshell. And then I'll have a 4 foot by 8 foot table that is hopefully fairly flat. Now the other thing I'm doing is I've already picked my side here, so this is always going to be the inside of my 2x4. It does have a bow in it like this, so I figured it'd be easier to bring the ends in than to bring the middle section in, if that makes any sense. I'm not a woodworker, guys. I work in 2x4s, and I'd be lucky if this thing sees a coat of paint. So anyways, this is going to be the top of it. And I don't know if you've ever seen these kind of clamps here. These are pretty old corner clamp or miter vise. They're for like making picture frames and stuff. I only have 3 of them. I thought I had more of them. I picked these up at a garage sale a long time ago. You've probably seen them around. And they just clamp like that, and you can make like a picture frame with them. You know, lay them in there if you got mitered, you know, which is a 90-degree cut, like, and it shows you right there on the side of the box. These are pretty nice. I picked these up for like $10. I'm not sure where the 4th one is. Usually they sold in 4s, but evidently one broke or got lost or something. Anyways, you know, I only bought 3 of them. So they work great for doing stuff like this. So I'm putting them on the top of what's going to be the table surface, because if there's usually a little bit of overhang on the bottom. You know, this one's got a little. This one's got a little bit more. I mean, the lumber sucks anymore. So I want the top to be flat. I don't care what the bottom looks like. So, you know, I can shim for flatness later. But you know, we'll get the top nice and flat. And then when we get everything set up, now I'm going to put I got one lower kitchen cabinet that I've obtained, and I fixed it, and I got to still do a little bit of cleanup on it, but that's going to be one part of the bottom of this. And then I'm going to put 3 legs on the other ends. I think the cabinet's going to end up right here underneath this part here. I haven't quite determined that yet. We'll get this in there, and then we'll play around with it a little bit and for where it's going to land at. And then I'll put 1, 2, 3 legs, and if I come up with any more cabinets, I'll just be able to knock a leg out and I can slide it underneath of it. So yeah, for the time being I only got one, so that's what we're going to work with. So anyways, I'm going to keep going on this, get these glued up. Again, these are just I just glued them. Well, I did glue them. I'm just putting a little bead of Titebond wood glue underneath of it. and I'll flip it around, I'll nail it. I'd show you guys more of this, but I don't have a tripod out here, so you're gonna have to deal with little updates like this. But and then I'll drill a hole and knock a rod in there. I can show you in here. Oh, where are they? There's one. I'm just not gonna, can't hardly see some of them. That's good. There's another one. I can clean that up later with a little bit of sandpaper. So anyways, that's what we're doing there. So that ought to give it plenty of strength and keep it together. If we have to, we can drive some screws in there later. So anyways, bring it back when I got a little bit more to show you. All right, this is where we're at now. I got everything assembled. It came together pretty nice. I had my daughter come out and help me line all the holes up and everything. I still got to do these two here. I can get to those anytime. I'm going to next I'm going to build or cut out the plywood for underneath here and get that attached. And then sorry, getting distracted here. So anyways, it came out pretty flat. This floor is not super flat. We got a little wobble in her, but I'll be able to get that out when I get it on some legs here. So I guess the next step is I'll cut the plywood out for that, and then get that. I'll probably screw it in and then I don't think I'll glue it. I don't really think there's any reason to glue it. And then get it put in the shop and get the top sent up. So anyways, I'm going to get that done here, and then I'll show you the next steps here. So I already got the lower kitchen cabinet in there, so I'll be able to have a place to set this down at. And then start getting some legs cut and fit, and yeah, so we'll go from there with it. So I'll bring it back when we get all that done. All right, so after a week of work and stuff, I finally managed to get back onto this guy. And I went ahead, brought it inside. I made some legs. Fronts are out of these sides. It's 2x4 with a half lap. Buddy recommended me doing that. I still need to cross brace this a little bit. She's a little wobbly. And I had some 4x4s laying around, so I cut one of them up. I like the thicker legs. It can see how much more stable it is. I decided to go a little bit above. Normally, if you look over there on that cabinet, I got them right on the cabinets. And actually, these cabinets for, legs. So this one, I decided to go a little bit above, because this is going to be the sanding box here. And there's going to be a 1/2-inch plywood plate underneath this, to make it into a box. And then we'll put a hole over here on this side for the shop vac to fit shop vac hose to go into, if I could talk. So I went a little bit above it, so I would have room for here, and still haven't quite decided. I'm kind of going back and forth between that corner and this corner for the one cabinet that I do have. Reason why I went a little higher is because if I find any good deals on lower kitchen cabinets in the future, I can keep adding to this and make it into what I would like to have, which is to have this whole side and maybe one over there, a cabinet, and then shelving units on the ends. So it's getting there. This has been a heck of a project that I thought would take a few days, and we're into this for almost a week now. So apologize about not really getting anything uploaded, but it's been a busy couple weeks here anyway. So something to look forward to is more pylon racing next weekend. So that's why I'm trying to get a tabletop on here so I can get a plane down here and work on it. So that's what I'm going to do next, is put that on there. And I'll see if I have enough time to cut and start making that box down there. Bring it back when I got more to show you. Alright, so I got all that installed. This is, if you look down here, I caulked it. I caulked the inside. Sorry, I did not get a picture of that. I didn't think it was that important. But I went ahead and caulked this down, and I nailed it down with my little nailer over there. Those are like 1.5 inch nails, you know, finishing nails in there. I added the reinforcements to this side. So now it's nice and stable. And I went ahead and added a lug underneath there for the center. What I did is I measured off of this one here, since these both are the same on this end, and copied it, and then I shoved it up into place, and now we're a lot flatter than we were. Remember that 1/8 inch gap that I had there in the middle? So I haven't put the top down yet. I still got to screw it down, but I mean, for the most part, she's all finished. The only thing I got to add to it now is maybe some shelving underneath, like I had on the other one. And we'll probably do that to the other side over there. I'll do that off camera when I get more lumber. I'm out of 2x4s. And I got another sheet of plywood over there to make a half a shelf over there. And then I'm not sure what we're going to do here yet. But got the cabinet underneath there. I got some adjusting to do here yet and clean it some more. But if I get any more cabinets, I'll be able to easily slide them underneath there because of the gap there. So yeah, I think it turned out pretty nice. Pretty happy with it so far. I got a few more things I want to add to it yet, but we'll catch those on another break. I got to get back to working on airplanes. So pylon racing this weekend. So if you're out at Muncie, feel free to come by and say hi. You know, they're having the caps race there Saturday and Sunday. I'm hoping to be there Friday morning or Thursday afternoon. Time will tell as far as what that goes. So probably some more pylon racing action coming to you this weekend. So anyways, I want to thank you all for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.